What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to Stock Market Jimmy. I'm gonna make you guys a quick video. I've already made over on my gambling channel, which is Gamble with Jimmy. I made you guys a craps video today, and I also made you guys a baccarat video today, so you guys can check that out at Gamble with Jimmy. Now we're gonna do Stock Market Jimmy, and we're gonna talk about what I'm seeing going on in the stock market and what my thoughts are. Okay, so here's the deal. Google had a really good day. It shot up today to $174. $174. It had an amazing day. Now, guys, I'm telling you right now, the new Google glasses are going to be insane. They're going to be insane. They're going to completely change so many things about how powerful AI is to each and every one of us. There are so many things in the world where people and their professions are in some serious trouble. If you are an attorney, watch out. You're going to see a dramatic change in your income. If you are an attorney and you're providing people with like divorce paper, you're a divorce attorney, or there's still going to be attorneys, but it's getting to the point where a lot of specific type of attorneys. So, for example, if you prepare contracts, for people, if you prepare wills and things like that, you're gonna be in some big trouble. All right, other things that are going to get affected: education. There's going to be a huge change in education. Having your children go to school, it's, in my opinion, public school will be extinct. In my personal opinion, if you really look at the way that AI is going to teach children and the things that these children are able to learn through AI, you know who's going to be their teacher? Their home robot. They'll have school at home with their home robot, and the robot will be able to report and have a set of teachings that the parents understand and can go over with their own personal home robot. School is going to be extinct. All of you moms out there who have to run, single moms, you have to pay for daycare. Daycares are going to get affected by that. I can go on and on about the change that's coming because of AI. If you are an Uber driver, or you're just a courier driver or something like that, dinosaur business, in 4 or 5 years, it's over. It ain't going to happen. You're going to have nothing but cars and robots getting out. So here's what's going to happen. Cell phones. Companies like Apple, all of the cell phones that Apple has made, your iPhone, your Android, cell phones have another 5 years and they're done. There will be no more cell phones in 5 years. Anything on a screen that you use right now, like your phone and holding that phone and trying to do translation through your phone, and you have to look at it, you have to physically type in the text of what you want to do, and then you've got to look at it and then show the person and all this kind of stuff. When that first came out, we were all just amazed. Now, with these new glasses, it's changing. It's going to change the world, guys. These glasses are able to see things. If you have your glasses on, and these are clear glasses, so it's not going to hurt your eyes. If you forget your car keys, your glasses remember where you put your car keys, where you left them, because you had them on. Where's my car keys? They're over by the couch. They're in the drawer by your room. They're in the top drawer in your room. They're on the floor by your bed. Whatever. Wherever those glasses saw, wherever they saw your last time that you put those glasses, it's going to tell you. If I'm having a conversation and I'm going to South Korea, when I land in South Korea, I can literally have a conversation with anybody in South Korea. I can literally go up to them and I can have it already set for translation to where you have a full conversation. So when I start talking, the speakers will say whatever I'm saying in English, and they'll say it and pronounce it in Korean. When the person talks back in Korean, it will go back to me in English, and I'll be understand and have a full-blown conversation. If I look at the menu and it's a Korean menu, in front of the glasses will tell me exactly what that means. So it's just going to change everything. I mean, the things that you're going to be able to do with those glasses are amazing. You can literally be, you could have a bookshelf, and whatever title that it sees, it will remember everything. So if you're looking at that bookshelf and there's 3 books on there, you can turn around away from the shelf 5 minutes later and say, "Hey, what was the titles of those books that were on that shelf?" And it'll read all 3 of those books to you, and it'll tell you what those books are about if you want to do that. Anytime that you need spelling, how do you spell this? Boom, it'll put it right in your earpiece. Phone call coming in. It's your buddy, it's whatever's on the phone. Decline it, this, that. Call so-and-so. I mean, your phone, you don't need it. Like when you search the internet and things like that, you're going to be able to see everything through those glasses. Now, if you physically want to look at photos and things like that on your phone, sure, those kind of things, you probably would still have a demand. But Google is going, without a doubt, to be a $350 stock. It will definitely get there eventually. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the things that happened in the market today. Google was the only stock that I seen that was even kicking butt. All right, so Nvidia lost $2.58. It's at 131.80. Robinhood is at 63.86. Now, this, for me personally, is not anything that I'm interested at that price. Okay, if I look at a 5-year, guys, we're way up at the top. I look at a 1 year, we're way up at the top. Not only that, but look at my forward PE, it's 43%. All right, does not disclose the cash flow. Look at the total debt, 118%. Okay, not interested at that price. Not interested. Okay, you guys can buy whatever the heck you want. I'm not interested. All right, now here's HIMS. HIMS is down. It got hit today. And look at the after hours, guys. This is what happens when you buy certain stocks on hype. This is what happens to you. It lost $3.21 today, and look at it in the after hours. It's down almost $4 a share. It went from, what was today's high? Okay, let's look at what today's high was. $62, and it's down to $54 right now. Okay, and let's take a look at why. Let's look at why. People at the 5-year high. You look at the 1 year, 230% the stock is made. Way up at the top is where it's at right now. And let's check out the forward PE. Let's check that out. Okay. Forward PE, 101. Are you kidding me? I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. As far as the total cash, $322 million. That is a tiny company. Okay. $322 million. $213 million available. Debt rate is 11.5%. This is not bad at all. But at $100 on the PE, you can keep your little HIM stock. I ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole at that price. No siree. I'll come in at like $35. I'll come in at $35. And $35 is kind of on the high side, to be honest with you. So 35 bucks, I'll think about it. You guys, don't buy hype, guys. You'll get murdered. You will get murdered. The only one right now that's kind of interesting to me is Nike. Unfortunately, in the after hours, it's up a whole $1. It's up a whole $1. Nike has room here. Nike is not performing well, but at least it's a stock that gives you some opportunity. Okay, you've got you're in the middle on the 5-year. Your 1 year, you're towards the bottom on the 1 year. The company is down 35% for the year. They haven't made anything. Over 5 years, 36% that this company's down. You invest in Nike, you're down 35% on all your money that you invested with Nike. Okay? The forward PE ratio is 29. Guys, this thing's going to have to get to 18%. 18%. It's still a little overinflated for what the price is on the stock, okay? But at least you've got an opportunity with it, okay? Tesla, way too high. AMD is at 112. Let's look at AMD in after hours. After hours really doesn't mean anything, especially only like a couple hours into it. It's down very small, 111. Okay, now let's take a look at AMD. Okay, you're getting up there a little bit on the 5-year. Your 1 year, not horrible. You're in the middle. Okay, AMD is not overvalued that much. It's not a bad deal for AMD. Let's take a look at the books. $7.31 billion. The debt, guys, is only 8%. And they've got basically 50% of that $7 billion in cash, ready to rock and roll. Very strong. The forward PE 28. To be quite honest with you, it's only at 28 because AMD right now with the whole chips going on is everybody and their brother is in on these chip stocks. Everybody's on these ones. And that's the reason why that the PE is at 28%. But guys, compare that to HIMSS was at 100. 100. So you see what I mean about that PE ratio? Okay, now Google, guys, is still very strong. Look at this. Look at their PE. Okay, now the stock has been going up, but guys, 17%, 17.5%. The PE is so small for them. Look at their cash, guys. 95 billion, 60 billion in cash, 8% on debt. Google is a beast. I told you guys that Google was a beast. Now, personally, I'm looking for stocks to get crushed. I want stocks to start to get crushed. Annette is at $92. I told you guys on this one, if you could see it around $85, that would interest me. Okay, forward PE 37%. It's overvalued. Overvalued. Doesn't show their debt. Gotta see debt, guys. Gotta see the debt. I believe their debt is pretty much none. From what I remember, they don't have any debt, which is pretty amazing. So, okay, now guys, you guys got to check this one out with me. If you've seen one of my previous videos, I told you, what did I tell you guys that I was going to do? I told you that there's a lot of money to make in swing trades on this little company right here. This is a yo-yo factory right here. Not literally, but in the stock market, I call this a yo-yo. A yo-yo is going up and down and all around, and this sucker is so easy to make money. And I'm talking a cash machine right here. Could care less about holding this stock. This is a hot potato stock. All right, let's take a look at what I mean. Let's look at a 1 month, okay? Look at that yo-yo, all right? This is what this stock has done consistently. You want to talk about a stock that moves up and down? Look at this sucker. $4.16 low. Boom! Goes up to $4.48. Now, let's talk about some math here, all right? If you're buying, let's say, I can't. I know some of you guys out there maybe that watch me and you don't really buy a lot. Maybe you only buy like 3,000, 8,000 or something like that. Don't let that bother you. You buy what you can afford. So let's say that you only did 3,000 and you divide that by 433. All right. So you're going to get 692 shares, okay? We'll round it off to 693 because it's closer to that. All right. Now, let's say you bought it on April 22nd, okay? And then, boom, it goes up on April 23rd, which is one day later, to 75, and you paid 53. Okay, so let's give you a $20 profit. I mean, a 20-cent profit. 693 times 20 cents is $138, okay? Now, it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, but you would have made that much. Now, if you take the same person does the same trade, okay? He does the exact same trade, but instead, he buys $100,000, okay? And you divide that by 430. What was it? 433, right? Let's see. 433. Okay, 433 does the same price as you. He's got 23,000 shares, and now he gets the same 20 cents. $4,600, guys, in one day. In one day, it goes from 433 to 453. Okay, in one day, that individual who put out the $100,000 just made $4,600 in one day. All right. Now, so what you want to do with this stock, I told you guys that the price range is between like 450, 460, 470 might be a little high in my opinion. So it comes over here and now boom, it hits 475. The guy who paid $100,000 did the same trade as you. He did the exact same trade as you. The only difference is he got $4,600 and you got $138. That goes to show you the power of money makes money, but you have to start to somewhere. So let's say that another guy buys it at 450 and he buys it in the morning at 450 and that was on April 23rd. And it goes up, boom, and it goes up and hits 477 or what is it out there? 474, something like that, okay? So he makes $24 or 24 cents. Boom, another $5,000, another $5,000, okay? So as you can see, it keeps going up it bounces like 20 cents almost every single day, guys. Okay? Look at this way up here at the top. It reached all the way to 552. Comes down, 537. Comes down where it's at now, and it's at the 496. Okay? Now, this is a real low for it, 437. So I like that stock around the 460 range. 466, something like that. You get that stock around the 460 to 465. I'm in and I'm flipping when I get it up to 10, 15, 20 cents. Sometimes you're going to get lucky and you might be able to get and ride that thing up 50 cents, guys. And you're talking good money on this particular stock. So this is a swing trade type of stock. Another stock that's now I'm not even going to tell you about that one. I don't want you getting in trouble if thing goes bad with it. It ain't worth it. It's too risky, So right now I'm not really watching a lot of stocks. I'm not really paying attention too much to, all of the stocks out there right now. I do focus with AMD, Nike, Hood, these ones over here, Net, Google. I will open my eyes more to a couple other ones that like PayPal. Let's take a look at PayPal. PayPal is a good one. PayPal, boom. Let's check out PayPal. All right, so PayPal is another one that has been really kind of shooting up. I started telling you guys about this stock when it was $60. Okay, so let's take a look at the 5-year. They're not doing good with their stock. 51% negative in the last 5 years. In the last year, they're up 11%. If you look at that in the last year, they're right down the center. I don't really like I really don't like their books, guys. I'm not a big fan of their books, okay? Way too much debt here. Way too much debt. Total cash, 11 billion, and they only got they almost got 2 billion. That's a lot of money. Billion. And then the total debt is 66%. Their debt is way too much. It's way too much. They really need to get that down. I think the problem with them is that their stock price dropped so much. But the forward PE is 14.5%. That is not overvalued. This stock is not overvalued. It does have some room for you to make some money here, guys. Okay? It hasn't been performing well. Okay? But it could. Imagine if this thing goes back up eventually to the 190. You're going to make a lot of money. A lot of money. So it's one to keep an eye on. If it keeps coming down, if it gets at 65, we're getting in this sucker, boy. We're getting in this sucker at 65, guys. Nvidia would have to come down for me, man. Let me look at the 5-year. Whoa. Nvidia is actually really low for the 5-year. But they're high for the 1-year. But the 5-year, it's... Oh, there it goes. Okay, so no, I take that back. There was something wrong with the... Yeah, they're high. Yeah, they're high. Okay. Yeah, it must have been an issue with the chart. Nvidia is way up there. Let's look at their figures. Ratio, PE ratio, 31. Okay, a little high, but not horrible. Oh, man, I like their books, bro. 43 billion, 44 billion available, 13% debt. That's a company right there. That's a company right there, guys. I'm not a big fan of paying top dollar for things. I realize that this stock could end up being a $300, $400, $500 stock. I realize that. I totally get it. It's just, for me, I'm an investor that only buys on rare opportunities, man. I'm not a big fan of just coming in for the hell of it. I gotta see really good deals when I buy. Okay, guys? So that's a little update on the market. Let's hope for a lot more red. I want things to get really, really bloody. I do not like being in bull markets. Do not like it. I hate it. I hate when evaluations are rewarded. I like companies like Nvidia to get absolutely punished because their evaluation is pretty high. A lot of these companies' evaluations are pretty high. So I don't think that these are steals or anything like that. I'm sorry. Just a month ago, this stock was $105. Okay, just a month ago, this stock was $95. 30 days ago, this stock was $95. I don't want to be the guy that if this market goes down and it comes all the way down here to 114, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that's down $15 a share, and now I've got all that money tied up, and it's just stuck on stupid. Stuck like Chuck. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful. You have to be careful. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Give me a like, subscribe, help the channel out. Give me $1 billion. Send it over FedEx. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.